Welcome to our deep dive today.
Okay.
We're going to be focusing on insights from healthcare futurist Praveen Suthram.
Right.
He's going to be giving the keynote address at the upcoming AGA Tech Summit.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And he's got quite a resume.
Yeah.
Entrepreneur, author, co-founder of Next Services and GI Mastermind.
Wow.
And he's the host of the Scope Forward Show podcast.
Oh, wow. So he's really into this.
He really is.
Future stuff, huh?
I think given that he's such a leading voice in the future of gastroenterology, his perspective on the challenges and opportunities that innovators like you listening are facing is incredibly valuable.
Absolutely. And you know what I find so fascinating is that he's not just talking about small improvements. He's calling for radical change.
Wow.
Even exponential shifts in the field.
Yeah.
And he thinks this is going to be driven by things like AI and digital health.
Right.
It'll push us way beyond anything we're doing today.
That's a pretty bold statement.
It is.
So it's not just about, a slightly better endoscope or something.
No.
We're talking about completely changing how we approach patient care.
Exactly. In fact, Praveen outlines 3 key challenges that GI innovators need to overcome.
Okay.
The first is something many of you listening can probably relate to, just finding the time and space to innovate.
Yeah. I could see that gastroenterologists are incredibly busy. And carving out the time for creative thinking and innovation can seem impossible.
It does.
The article even mentions how GI Mastermind attendees often express frustration about this very issue.
Yeah.
They're too swamped to think outside the box.
Yeah, they're constantly running just to keep up.
Right.
That's a perfect segue into the second challenge that Praveen highlights.
Okay.
And it's something I feel very strongly about, broadening perspectives.
Okay.
He points out that the field of GI often gets stuck in its traditional methods. And they end up missing out on opportunities in these emerging areas, like the microbiome.
Right. He makes a really compelling point about the explosion of all these microbiome-focused startups.
Exactly.
While GI practitioners are often absent from the conversation, which leaves patients to seek answers elsewhere because the experts aren't stepping up to lead.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Area.
And this brings us to the third challenge, which revolves around the use of AI. So it's already being used for things like polyp detection.
Right.
But Praveen challenges us to ask, is that all we're going to use this incredible technology for?
I love that he's pushing us to think bigger.
Yes.
Instead of just focusing on incremental improvement,
Totally.
he's asking us to imagine AI robotics and digital biology all working together to completely transform GI care.
Yeah, it's got these really great examples.
He even suggests that we might one day be receiving care in the back of a self-driving car.
I know.
Which might seem far-fetched.
Yeah.
But it really highlights the vast potential
it really does.
of these technologies.
But it's a powerful image.
Yeah, it is.
But Praveen's not just speaking hypothetically here.
Okay.
He actually offers solutions to these challenges.
All right.
And he's going to be sharing more at the AGA Tech Summit. For example, he emphasizes that gastroenterologists need to carve out this time for strategic thinking, even if their schedules are demanding.
Okay.
And he thinks this can be achieved through dedicated innovation blocks, restructured workflows, and even exploring new financial models.
Those are really practical suggestions.
They are.
Instead of just accepting the status quo of being too busy, he's providing a roadmap for actually making space for innovation.
Exactly.
I go like that.
And building on this idea of making space.
Yeah.
He also stresses the importance of expanding our view of what GI practice can even encompass.
Okay.
He thinks we have the expertise to lead in areas like microbiome research, gut-brain axis breakthroughs, and digital therapeutics.
Yeah.
We just need to be proactive and engaged.
So instead of just reacting to changes in the field, Praveen's advocating for gastroenterologists to step up and shape the future of GI care.
He is, and he thinks the biggest risk isn't a lack of innovation, but a failure to make space for it.
Wow.
And one of his most thought-provoking statements is, we have to be willing to step back and reimagine what's possible, otherwise we'll find ourselves reacting to change rather than leading it.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
I completely agree. Now, I'm curious, what are your thoughts on Praveen's statement that physicians need to act more like entrepreneurs?
That's a great question, and I think it deserves some unpacking because, he's not suggesting that every gastroenterologist needs to go start their own company or something.
Okay.
But he is advocating for a mindset shift.
Right.
One that embraces creativity, innovation, and a willingness to take calculated risks.
Okay.
In his own words, physicians need to start acting and thinking like entrepreneurs, constantly looking for problems to solve and ways to improve patient care.
Right.
The only constant in healthcare is change, and those who embrace this change will thrive.
So it's more about adopting an entrepreneurial spirit
Right.
and applying it within their existing roles.
Exact.
It's about constantly looking for ways to improve,
Yeah.
to innovate, and to push the boundaries
Totally.
of what's possible in GI care.
And I think that ties in beautifully with his call to action. He's not just pointing out these problems.
Yeah.
He's urging us to be active participants
Yeah.
in shaping the future of the field.
I like that. Absolutely.
And that's what we'll explore further in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay.
We'll delve into Praveen's specific recommendations for how gastroenterologists can really embrace this entrepreneurial spirit
Okay.
and become leaders in the digital health revolution.
I'm excited to hear more about that. So
Yeah.
for all of you listening,
Yeah.
stay tuned as we continue our deep dive into Praveen Sutram's insights
Yeah,
and explore how you can play a role
absolutely.
in shaping this exciting future
Yeah.
of gastroenterology.
It's going to be great. It's interesting how we often hear about disruption in healthcare, but Praveen's perspective is more about evolution, a guided evolution, I'd say.
That's a good point. He sees these powerful new technologies as tools that we as experts in the field
Right.
can use to shape a better future for GI care.
Exactly. And he doesn't shy away from strong statements either.
Yeah.
Like in the title of his book, The Shift, How Digital Innovation is Irreversibly Transforming Gastroenterology and Healthcare.
Okay.
He uses the word irreversibly.
Yeah, that's a pretty powerful word.
That is.
It suggests that this isn't just like a passing trend or something.
No.
Digital innovation is here to stay.
Right.
And it's going to fundamentally change how we approach GI care.
And the question Praveen poses is this.
Okay.
Will we be active participants in this transformation or passive bystanders?
And this is where the AGA Tech Summit becomes really relevant, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
It's not just a tech conference.
Right.
It's a platform for bringing together GI innovators, startups, investors,
Yes.
and industry leaders to actually drive this change forward.
I agree.
Praveen will be outlining his vision there,
Yeah,
but it's also a place for these ideas to turn into action.
absolutely. This year's summit is focusing on some really crucial areas.
Oh, like what?
Like navigating the regulatory landscape,
Right.
bridging the gap between FDA approval and reimbursement,
Right.
and understanding what investors are looking for.
So it sounds like really practical,
I agree.
real-world issues that innovators like yourself need to address.
Exactly.
It's really encouraging to know that there are events like the AGA Tech Summit that are dedicated to tackling these challenges head-on.
Right, and they have things like a Shark Tank pitch competition, an innovation showcase, even VC startup consultations.
It's not just about talking about the future.
No.
It's about equipping people with the tools and resources they need
Yes.
to actually build it.
And that's what makes Praveen's perspective so valuable. He's not just a futurist with grand visions.
Right.
He's actually deeply involved in the practical aspects of making those visions a reality. He's actively working to create the future he talks about.
Yeah, it's one thing to imagine the possibilities,
Right.
but it's another thing entirely to roll up your sleeves and actually start building them.
Totally.
And Praveen is doing both.
He is.
He co-founded Next Services, which is already using AI-based solutions to drive efficiency and innovation in GI practices labs and ASCs.
Right. And let's not forget his GI Mastermind program, which empowers gastroenterologists to become leaders and innovators.
He's walking the walk.
He is.
Not just talking the talk.
He's even quoted as saying, we can't just wait for someone else to solve these problems.
Yeah.
We need to be the ones driving innovation, pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
That really resonated with his point about physicians needing to act more like entrepreneurs.
Exactly.
He's not just advocating for it.
Right.
He's living it.
He's a living example.
And I think that's incredibly inspiring.
It is.
For anyone in the field of GI.
Yeah.
From researchers to practitioners to you, the listener.
Yeah.
You know, if you're feeling that pull to innovate, that desire to make a difference in the field,
Yeah.
Praveen's message is a call to action.
Absolutely. He's saying the future is now, the tools are here, what are we going to do with them?
And that's a question I'd like to pose to you, the listener.
Okay.
What excites you most about the future of GI care?
Right.
And what small step, however small it may seem,
Yeah.
can you take today to contribute to that future?
I like that.
Praveen is convinced that the future of GI lies in the hands of those who are willing to challenge the status quo,
Right.
embrace new technologies, and reimagine what's possible.
It's a good point.
Do you agree?
We've talked a lot about the challenges and opportunities presented by these emerging technologies, but
Right.
Praveen's vision goes beyond just adopting new tools.
Okay.
He's talking about a fundamental shift in how we approach patient care.
Yeah.
He's challenging us to rethink our assumptions
Yeah.
about what GI practice is and what it could be.
And one of the most striking examples of this is the question he poses about colonoscopies.
Okay.
He asks, what if you didn't have to perform as many colonoscopies?
Right.
Then what would you do instead?
It's such a simple question,
Yeah.
but it really gets to the heart of his message.
Mm-hmm.
It forces us to confront our current reality and imagine a future where technology frees us from the limitations of today.
Wow.
Imagine a future where we can devote more time to personalized care, to preventive medicine,
Right.
to really getting to know our patients
Yeah.
and understanding their individual needs.
It's a powerful thought.
It is.
And it ties in directly with his emphasis on broadening our perspectives.
Yes.
If we could free ourselves from the time constraints of additional practices,
Right.
what new possibilities emerge?
Exactly.
What mysteries of the gut could we unravel if we had the time and space
Yeah.
to truly focus on innovation?
The possibilities are limitless.
They really are.
We could see breakthroughs in personalized microbiome therapies, early detection of GI cancers, maybe even treatments for conditions we currently consider incurable.
Wow, I think what's so inspiring about Praveen's message
Yeah,
is that he's not just talking about the future of technology.
right.
He's talking about the future of human potential,
Mm-hmm.
what we as gastroenterologists are capable of achieving
Yes.
when we break free from our self-imposed limitations.
It's a call to reclaim our roles as pioneers, as explorers, as healers,
I like
to embrace the unknown, to challenge the status quo, and to shape a future where GI care is truly transformative.
And as we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Okay.
I want to leave you with one final thought from Praveen.
Okay.
He said, the future of gastroenterology involves more than better diagnostics and treatments.
Right.
It's about redefining the very boundaries of the field itself.
Wow.
Let that sink in for a moment.
Okay.
What does it mean to you to redefine the boundaries of GI care?
Yeah.
What does that future look like?
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly, what role will you play in shaping it?
I like that.
Think about that as we continue our deep dive in the next part. You know, it's amazing how quickly the future can go from this far-off concept to something that feels like
I know.
almost within reach.
Right. Especially when you're listening to someone like Praveen, who has such a clear vision and a concrete plan for how to get there.
Right.
He doesn't just talk about the future, he's actively building it.
And he makes a really compelling case that we all have a role to play in shaping this future,
We do.
no matter how small our contribution might seem.
Absolutely.
One of the quotes that really stuck with me was, "We're standing at the precipice of a new era in gastroenterology,
Okay.
one where technology empowers us to deliver truly personalized, proactive, and preventative care."
Oh, I like that.
It paints such a vivid picture of what could be.
It does. It's a future where we're not just reacting to disease or
Right.
preventing it. We're not just treating symptoms, but addressing the root causes.
Right.
And Praveen thinks this future is closer than we think.
He does. He also encourages us to think beyond traditional settings for care.
He does. Yeah.
He even challenges the notion of the doctor's office as the primary point of contact,
Right.
suggesting that the future of GI care might not even take place in a hospital or clinic.
Oh, wow.
It could be in the comfort of your own home, at your workplace, or
Interesting.
even in your car.
That's a radical idea, but it makes sense when you consider the advancements in
Right.
remote monitoring, telehealth,
Right.
and all these mobile health
All
technologies.
that stuff coming out.
Right.
Imagine a world where you can get real-time feedback
Yeah.
on your gut health through wearable sensors,
Right.
where you can consult with your gastroenterologist via video chat
Yeah.
from anywhere in the world,
Right.
where AI algorithms can analyze your data and provide personalized recommendations for diet and lifestyle changes.
So cool.
It's a future where technology empowers patients to take control of their own health and well-being,
Yes.
working in partnership with their healthcare providers.
And this brings us back to Praveen's call to action. He's not just predicting the future.
Yeah,
He's challenging us to create it.
I like that.
He's urging us to embrace the transformative power of technology and use it to build a better future for GI care.
He believes that the only limit to what we can achieve
Right.
is our own imagination.
It's true.
And as we conclude this deep dive, I want to invite you, the listener,
Yeah.
to let your imagination run wild.
Let's do it.
What excites you most about the future of GI care?
Yeah. What role do you want to play in shaping this exciting new era?
Remember, even small steps can make a big difference.
Absolutely.
Whether it's exploring a new technology, attending a conference like the AGA Tech Summit, or simply having a conversation with a colleague about these ideas, you can be a part of the movement to redefine the boundaries of GI care.
Thank you for joining us on this journey into the future of gastroenterology.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I hope Praveen's insights have inspired you, challenged you, and ignited a passion for innovation.
I hope so, too.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Right.
The future of GI is in your hands.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. I think J-Spoo is actually one.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.